private message, and like, hey, I grew up in flat land and a lot of snow. I know how to drive in it, and you can butt out. You're not even a homie anymore.
That's right. That's it.
In August, September, or October.
And we may have a guy that is going to grind from trash pickup, and we just had a hard time getting up there. Plus, we're Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Village of Ruidoso regular meeting. It's January the 9th. It's 1 p.m. and we're going to go ahead and get started. If you'll stand with me, we'll have a moment of silence, and then we'll have the pledge.
Thank you, God, for the moisture, and let it continue for the next 3 months.
Amen. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
All righty then. We get a roll call, please, ma'am.
Mayor Crawford.
Here.
Counselor Eby.
Here.
Counselor Letterman. Here. Counselor Salas.
Here.
Counselor Hooker.
Here.
Counselor Jackson.
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
All right, thank you. And we're going to go ahead and get started. We've got other business tonight that we've got to head to Santa Fe, but we are thankful for the snow. It's the first council meeting of the new year, so we want to start things off right. And so far, they seem to be going very, very well. So approval of today's agenda. Can I get a motion, please?
Mr. Mayor, move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Any discussion?
You need it to be ability to move it around.
No, we're going to run it like it is today. Okay. Roll call, please.
Counselor Jackson.
Aye.
Counselor Eby.
Aye.
Counselor Letterman.
Aye.
Counselor Salas.
Aye.
Counselor Hooker.
Aye.
All right, thank you, everyone. We're going to get into it. Consent regular items. Number 1, approval of governing body minutes, December 12, 2023, regular meeting. Item number 2, approval of certificate of records destruction, number 2024-001. Number 3 is approval of adoption of resolution 2024-01, a resolution establishing an annual schedule of governing body minutes and determining reasonable notice for public meetings of the Village of Ruidoso. Item number 4, approval of assignment of ground lease dated December 14th, 2021 between the Village of Ruidoso and Mesa Apartments, LLC to EC Ruidoso, LP for property located at 1104 Meacham Drive. Item number 5 is a resolution of approval of resolution 2024-5, a resolution of administrative support and commitment to funding from New Mexico Main Street and the Economic Development Department in the amount of $265,000, no cents, for a pedestrian and parking lot improvement project. Item number 6, approval of purchase of an Arapahoe style bathroom for North Park utilizing Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Contract number 8081721 CXT from CXT Precast Concrete Products in the amount of $254,418.00 for a bathroom. Number 7, approval of purchase of a Denali-style bathroom for schoolhouse parking utilizing Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Contract number 081721 CXT from CXT Precast Concrete Products in the amount of $115,803, no cents. Item number 8, approval of purchase of a Taos-style bathroom for the Country Club property in Midtown utilizing Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Contract number 081721 CXT from CXT Precast Concrete Products in the amount of $238,800 $938.00. Number 9, approval of multi-award awards of RFP number 2024-003P on-call professional and general engineering services with a focus on design and construction of recreation trails and pathway design and roadway design and drainage to Bohannon Houston, Inc. and Stantec Consulting Services, Inc. Item number 10, approval of professional services agreement with Bohannon Houston, Inc. and Stantec Consulting Services, Inc. for on-call professional and general engineering services awards via request for proposal number 2024-003P. Number 11, approval of adoption of resolution 2024-004, a resolution authorizing the Village of Ruidoso to submit an application to the Department of Finance and Administration Local Government Division to participate in the local DWI grant and distribution program. Item number 12, approval of purchase of a 2024 Chevrolet Silverado MD 5500 four-wheel drive crew WT with Napid. How's my street guys? How do you pronounce that?
Napa.
None of you know.
Napide.
Napide. I've wondered for years. I didn't know. Service body and lift more crane, 6,000 pounds capacity from Tillery Chevrolet GMC through Cooperative Educational Resources. CES contract number 2020-31A-C104-all in the amount of $181,449.00. Number 13, approval of request to schedule a public hearing on February 13th, 2024 on proposed ordinance 2024-01, an ordinance whereby the Village of Ruidoso grants Valor Telecommunications of Texas LLC, DBA Windstream Communications, Southwest Windstream, and its successors, and assigns the non-exclusive franchise license, right, and privilege to construct, erect, operate, and maintain its telecommunication business within the limits of the Village of Ruidoso.
Mayor, I move to approve the consent regular items as read.
Second.
Second, any discussion? None? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Salas,
Aye.
Counselor Hooker,
Aye.
Counselor Eby,
Aye.
Counselor Letterman,
Aye.
Counselor Jackson.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Well, we're waiting on our public input portion. Did we have anybody sign up? Nada. Well, it sounded like there was a lot of pooping going on in town with all those new potties y'all are buying. Thank you for the grants. There's a lot of,
$750,000.
yeah, a lot of pooping. So there's no public input. Anybody signed up for, so we'll move right on to mayoral reports and presentations. Item number 1 is presentation of new employees and promotions. We love this part because we are getting really good quality employees, and the ones that we have are doing such a wonderful job, and we love it when they get promoted. So new employees, we're going to start off with Solid Waste Department, which I know those guys are overtaxed right now with getting all the slash and all the trash from the holidays picked up. Believe me, we've been hearing about it. Ain't we, Michael? Where's Michael? There's Michael. He's been catching the phone calls. Ezekiel Alvarez. Attaboy, stand up, Ezekiel. We're glad to have you. Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Oh, TRC. Ah, okay. So we're glad that you're here. Hopefully you have a long tenure here, but this is your council. We're available to you, so we hope you enjoy it. This is your shot. Is there anything you'd like to say, add, or?
All right.
Well, we're glad to have you very much, Ezekiel. Do you go by Ezekiel or Zeke? Zeke. All right.
Welcome, Zeke.
Thank you. Desmond Warner, Parks and Rec.
All right,
There's Desmond Warner. Hello, Mr. Warner. Where'd you come from?
Born and raised here.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you here. Glad to have you at the village. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Just thank everybody for the opportunity.
Well, we hope you stay here a long time, and we got lots of things to do in Parks and Rec. Big department. So,
Look forward to it.
good. Thank you. Have you been on the end of those new sweepers?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And just last year it was shovels, so we're making a lot of inroads. So I know the people in Midtown, the businesses appreciate all that. We hear about it all the time. So thank you for your work. Tammy Waterfield, Parks and Rec. Hello, Tam. Okay, we've seen you around for a while, so was there anything that you'd like to say, Tammy?
No, I'm just glad for this chance to get my career going with the village and just happy to be here.
Well, we're glad to see you, Tammy. Glad you're here. Promotions in the fire department to lieutenant, effective December 31st, 2023, Justin Mize.
All right, Justin.
Oh, he's over at the Wildland Fire Academy going on at ENMU.
And we'll have him in February. We'll introduce him.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you.
And then we're going to presentation of employees, the employee and department of the quarter.
This is not here.
And we want to, first off, this person does a lot of work. She kind of keeps everybody in line, does a wonderful job. She's been in charge of the employee committee for, I don't know, the last 3 years. So we would like to get Melissa in here. Come on in here, Melissa.
Good job,
Little
Melissa.
appreciation. Thank you for everything you do. Certificate proudly presented to Melissa Moody, Employee of the Quarter, fourth quarter 2023. So thank you very much.
Yay.
Anything you want to say?
So I have a song prepared, actually. No, I love my job. I love the people that I work with. I've had a ball being on the employee committee, so I feel lucky to be here. So thank y'all for everything.
Well, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Melissa.
Hang around. So hang around, Melissa.
Stay up here.
Might as well stick around. So now then, the department of the quarter is none other than the ones that pulled off a beautiful summer, activity after activity, every weekend after every weekend. Beautiful Christmas lights put up all through town. The beautiful display, here's Uli. But the beautiful display that you guys put up in Wingfield Park is getting better and better every year. Kudos all around. We know, I don't know how you get it done. You guys work hard. And now then, that we don't have a lot of activities going on, you guys are pitching in a job and never saying that's not my job. You're part of the solutions that we have around here. We appreciate all the snow removal. Come on in, guys. Push them on in, Tracy. So see if we can get a picture.
Desmond, get up in there.
They need the,
Yeah.
Go
Wait
Desmond.
till Desmond gets there.
Go T-Bone.
Oscar, you want to come get this? Anyway, they get to house this for the next quarter. And this is Oscar. How you guys doing?
Good, Oscar. Thank you.
How you been?
Thank you.
get over there so she can take
Take your
y'all's
picture.
with the
You're holding
bird.
up the meeting, Oscar.
Come on, Oscar. But these ladies and gentlemen do an awesome job. We want to make sure we get a good picture to go in the newsletter.
Yay.
But you guys make us proud all the time. And it sounds like you got a lot of work to do.
Go back to work.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Welcome aboard, Desmond. Stick around, buddy.
Desmond, thank you very much. I appreciate you
Hi,
here.
Jimmy.
Yeah, come around, Jimmy.
Oh, man. Oh, boy.
Thank you for
Okay.
everything you do. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you
Thank
do.
you, appreciate you.
For being here.
Thanks for everything you do. Thanks, Uli. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Martha.
Thanks for all you do.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Glad y'all are here.
Good job, buddy.
Great job. Great
Thank
job.
you.
There he is. How are you?
Good job.
Good, good. Thank you. Thank you. Glad y'all are here.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you, Matt.
Good job. You bet. Porta potties abound.
Thanks, T-Bone.
Quit mugging. Let's go.
All right, T-Bone, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, here's your deal, T-Bone, sorry. But really, we have so many wonderful departments. Enough can't be said about these guys. They do a tremendous amount, so thank you very much for everything you do. Now we'll move into recognition of village employees who obtained their commercial driver's license through ENMU's 5-week class Class A CDL program. And this is, in every department, we need CDL drivers. We weren't attracting them, so, everybody says you guys need to start thinking out of the box. We don't even have a box. So we looked at this, we partnered with our good friends over at ENMU. They put together a CDL class. If you saw at White Mountain in the parking lot, the sports complex, all the big trucks over there, that's where they did all of that. But we want to congratulate Nathan Fox. I don't know if these guys are here. Oh, Wildland Fire Academy. Anthony Nance. Nicholas Gonzalez.
Nick?
Okay, Alex Salas.
Hey, there's one, yeah.
Glad you're here.
Good job, Alex.
No relation to this Salas, huh?
No.
Not at all, okay.
We could say we're primos.
Primos, yeah. And William Herrera.
There he is.
All right, well, hopefully that leads on to more advancement within the village, so we appreciate you guys setting in for that and completing it.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. Lincoln Day, County Day in Santa Fe. Yes, ma'am. This is the one, the only Deborah Dowd, and we're all excited. Hopefully you've already got a lot of reservations going.
We have a few, yeah, and I think a lot of people are making their reservations this week. But Happy New Year. Thanks for the opportunity to come in and talk about our Lincoln County Day reception in Santa Fe. We're going to do it again this year at the Drury Plaza. It'll be February 7th at 5:30. So we're really excited. Last year, we had a great turnout, lots of senators and representatives, as well as cabinet secretaries and department heads there at the state level. So we're really excited. Thank you to the village for your support. We appreciate that. But yeah, and it's open to the public. It's not just chamber members. It's not just village council. So we're hoping people here in Lincoln County, Ruidoso will take advantage of the opportunity to come up and speak with our representatives one-on-one. And it's just a great opportunity. I think it's one of the more important benefits that the chamber offers the community. So.
I would agree. That's,
Yeah.
and people really gives them more of a sense of community when they
Right.
go and they see what's happening.
Yeah.
So we've pushed it out, and we'll again, to all the committee members, whatever, send them an email, let them, remind them.
Yeah, and if anybody, our block of rooms is open through the end of this week. So if anybody, they can reach out and I'll give them the group number and make the reservations. This year, we did something a little bit different that we haven't done before. We wanted to get more involvement, so we have offered some scholarship opportunities to people in the community. Mike Cheney is one of the recipients. Lorna Fike from Hope Harbor, Eddie Crane from Healing America's Heroes, and then an individual from Pine Cliff Village who's never had the opportunity to come up. So that's kind of what we're doing these scholarships for. So
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
That's really
yeah,
good.
yeah. So we're excited. Again, if anybody else wants to come out and participate, just give me a call at the chamber and we'll get you the information.
Okay? And if you need, there'll be a bunch of us there. That's on Wednesday, Tuesday. That's on Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
We'll be there Tuesday night and Wednesday morning,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if we need to help you pass out stuff, we'll certainly
Okay,
do that.
cool. Thank you.
So-
Appreciate
Mayor
it.
and council.
Thank you for doing it again.
Yeah.
Also, I know Deborah, her and I spoke about conducting a candidate forum. You want
yes.
to just real quick, just what your plan is on that?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to get with Bernadine at the convention center, but we are hoping to do a candidate forum. We do have so many positions open on the council, so we'd like to do a candidate forum. We did one for the school board elections, and I think it turned out really well. So we will be offering that hopefully in February. Also, February is going to be a busy month, but we'll get that started. Also, Vines and the Pines, our wine festival is February 17th and 18th at the convention center. So everybody come out and taste some New Mexico wine.
Excellent.
Yes.
All right.
Anything else you can think of? Well, we'll all try to be there for sure.
Yeah.
And today is the last day at what time? 5?
5 o'clock, 5
5
PM.
o'clock,
This is
that
it.
if you're going to run for village council or a judgeship, you got to have your application in today.
Okay.
So,
good
so
deal.
far we have 7,
Oh, well, good.
so applicants,
good.
so. Anyway,
right.
well, thank you, Deborah,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Update on High Mountain Youth Project. Good to see you guys. Lori, y'all go ahead and introduce yourself for those that don't know them.
Okay, I'm Laurie Benavides, the president and founder of High Mountain Youth Project.
I'm Clayton Allred, the treasurer for the High Mountain Youth Project.
Welcome.
Thank you for letting us be here today to give this update. Thank you, Mayor Crawford and councilors. We appreciate this opportunity. So Dr. Allred and I are here to provide this update on the progress of our 24-hour youth crisis shelter. It's part of our High Mountain Youth Project's comprehensive safety net for youth experiencing or at risk of homelessness. And our goal is for youth to be safe and healthy, educated, housed, and self-sufficient. So the dormitory building renovation was basically completed in late November, and we received an occupancy permit, so thank you very much for that. So presently, even though the dormitory has passed all those inspections, there's still some work going on in there to make it look a little bit nicer. So we had a little punch list Clayton put together.
Always, yes.
Always. So with that, we are getting ready to replace the dormitory roof, okay, and that's a separate project. So some of those punch list items will be completed next week, and hopefully all of them. We're ready to open. We have to have a license from Children, Youth, and Families Department, CYFD. And so they are the licensing authority for this type of shelter. They also do daycares and other kinds of youth facilities as well. So when we received that occupancy permit, CYFD was ready to start reviewing all of our policies, procedures, forms, safety plans, almost every piece of paper we have in the office over there on 637 Sutterth Drive. And so that is ongoing. And so with that, they started looking at our policies in December, and they gave us the okay to start hiring staff. They have to approve all of our hires that are going to be directly working with the youth. And so we're hiring some, we've got some already. They have to pass the fingerprinting and the criminal records checks that go through the CYFD vendor for that. So that's going on right now. Last spring, we hired a director of programs, Maricela Peralto, and she's been doing an outstanding job in helping us to get this crisis shelter open. And she'll be in charge of all the staff, and we really are thankful that we have such a talented, experienced person in that position, a paid position.
Yeah.
Anyway, so with that, we have to have at least one staff member on duty that has CPI training, crisis prevention intervention, and we have to have that before we get licensed. So that just got dropped on us about last 2 weeks ago. I was like, okay, so we're going to do that. Our staff also gets trained on the things that we know, best practices for working with youth, positive youth development, trauma-informed care, and we have added the Casey Life Skills curriculum, and that is the basis for our mentoring program for the staff and the volunteers who are mentoring the youth. That's ongoing right now with our evening drop-in center, and it will extend to the youth who will be staying in the shelter. So with that, we can sleep 14 youth in that building, the dormitory. There are 7 bedrooms. There's a bunk bed in each one, so there'll be 2 youth in each room. And we have 3 bathrooms in there. We have a sink and vanity in each of the bedrooms because teenagers, you don't want them in the bathroom taking all that time doing this and brushing. Anyway. So we have that. And we have an infirmary, a counseling office, a kitchenette, a little dining area in there, and a counseling area, counseling office, a little staff restroom, and a night staff station that is in the living room area. The bedrooms, except for one, open into this common area called the living room, and the night staff will be in there. They don't get to sleep. Okay, they have things to do. Okay, like supervise. And so then you know that the rest of the activities that happen during the day and evening happen in the main building that we already renovated and have been operating our evening drop-in center program in there, and that will continue. So we didn't have to put a commercial kitchen in the dormitory because we put one in the main building. So actually, the youth who are being sheltered there have almost 6,000 square feet.
Wow.
Between the two buildings. So the dorm is for sleeping and bathing and getting ready for school in the morning, getting ready for bed at night. And then the main building is for everything else. Okay. So that evening drop-in center located in the main building, this past year we served 56 individual youth. They're not all there at one time because they wouldn't fit, but they come in as they're needed. It's a drop-in program. So we say drop in so you don't drop out. And the purpose of that, we provide gateway and prevention services to help them to maybe not need a shelter, and we also work with their families as well, and to help them graduate from high school, and if they're not in school, to get them in school or into the GED program at ENMU Ruidoso. So 4 to 9 p.m. Weekdays for the evening drop-in center, and then early release, we open earlier. So with that, our youth are mentored by staff and volunteers, and I told you what they're trained in, and they have to also have CPR, and our EMTs here are fabulous at offering CPR classes and first aid to our staff and volunteers. So each youth will be assigned one or more mentors. Well, they are assigned one or more mentors now, and they will be, that are knowledgeable about the mentees, or the youth, it's kind of funny to say mentee, about their individual life skill goals, and they work with them toward the accomplishment of those goals. So those are basic things that people need to know to be able to survive in the world, like some financial literacy, how to wash your clothes, okay, how to cook a meal, things like that. Mm-hmm. And so we're really excited about what is going to happen, and we can't wait for that crisis shelter to open. So it's a CYFD license that's required. They still have to come out and do a site visit, and then we will be licensed. So,
Nice.
Thank you. Mayor, members of the council, I'd like to start with a thank you to each of you individually, to the village, and to many of the people in this room who have been so supportive of the High Mountain Youth Project. It has really been encouraging to see the community support that we have experienced. I specifically want to thank you in your role as fiscal agent for funds allocated by the state legislature that the High Mountain Youth Project is eligible for. I was asked a question last month about expending those funds, and I know the question is still on the table. So let me just go ahead and answer that question. The question was, Clayton, these state appropriated funds have to be spent by the end of June. Can you do that? The answer last month was yes. The answer this month is still yes. And I don't want you to be apprehensive about that. Our budget has grown exponentially in the last years, and so this is money that is really much needed. Homeless youth and youth who are in danger of have housing insecurities need a great deal of help, and the price tag on that is not inexpensive. So we appreciate those legislative funds. We also appreciate the village's role as the fiscal agent for managing those funds. As you know, the stipulations are such that we cannot ask for reimbursements until we're actually housing youth in the dormitory. We're very close to that, working through the licensure process with CYFD. We look forward to that final approval, I'm going to say any day now. And with that, I would say I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. If during this part of the agenda you even ask questions, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions, comments?
I've got one question there. Well, first of all, thank you for y'all for your dedication and pushing through. It's been many years in the works, and y'all just kept your nose to the grindstone. But you did mention mentorship, and so I just wondered, what does that look like? Is that people that are on staff? Is that volunteers? Because I know does that involve life skills? What all does that involve? Because there is a line between, let's just say, mentorship and counseling.
Right, we don't counsel. Okay.
Yes.
We will have a social worker that can do that kind of counseling, and beyond that, counseling services are referred. We refer out for counseling, school-based health center, Region 9, and then we have an MOU with PeopleWorks, which is a mental health organization, so we have that. So, yeah, there's no counseling. Okay, even if you are licensed in counseling, but you're not there for that purpose, you do not counsel.
Yeah.
Okay. So we work with our staff and our volunteers on what that looks like. So we have not gotten this far without our wonderful volunteers, and we will continue to have volunteers who come in and support the evening drop-in center program as they are now, and we can always use some more because we'll be adding 14 more every evening to that part of the day. So with the training in how to be a mentor, besides the positive youth development and trauma-informed care that form basically the culture of what we're trying to do at High Mountain Youth Project with staff, volunteers, and our youth. So we have implemented, just implemented, the KC Life Skills Assessment. And so with that, each youth is given an assessment and they get scored on it. And the youth and the mentor, or maybe the program manager, depending on the day, will go through, and the youth and the mentor or program manager or the volunteer, they're all going to mentor, will go through, and the youth will decide which of these life skills they want to work on first. Because remember, these are teenagers and they've got some sort of, they have some sort of idea of what they know and what they don't know and what they want to know. And then the assessment gives them other options and ideas of other things that are important for self-sufficiency. So each mentee, each youth will have a life skills plan, and each of the mentors working with that youth will have access to that, and we'll have some training on, how are we going to do these things, some procedures, et cetera. And sometimes we'll have to outsource and bring in like someone from a bank that has really good skill in teaching financial literacy, or maybe even some of our own staff do. So did I answer your question?
Yes, so your mentorship is basically geared toward the individual
It is.
as far as probably their need and also their desire to follow.
We find that works the best with the youth that we serve. That doesn't mean that they don't have group activities and things like that, because we do those things too. But to really make a difference with the youth, the one-on-one with a very well-trained adult is crucial.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Mayor, Lori or Dr. Allred, well, I would tag on to what Councilor Eby said about thinking and getting through the never-ending regulatory requirements to get this off the ground. I'm sure it's been a long road and continues to be so. But I have a simple question in my wheelhouse. Does your facility have an AED? It's an automatic.
Oh, an AED.
AED?
No, but we were supposed to get one. The EMTs have ways, they said, of getting it. They're going to try to get us one. Actually, we need two, one for each building.
That's what I wondered. And then will there be some training with that as well?
Yes, with the CPR training, we did get AED training as well. Some of us just had to re-up because with our credentials.
Well, I hope you don't need it, actually.
No, but with the AED, it's probably more for the adults and our volunteers.
Right.
I'm one of the youngest ones at age 69, so there you go.
So what are we talking about? One of those shock, the paddles?
Yeah, it's an automated
Yes.
system. The high
Yes.
school has them as well. I think there's one in the gym and there's some others.
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you very much. A lot of hard work. That's a great building.
Look
It's
forward to
looking.
giving you a better report next time.
Well, hopefully, I'd like to see a tour of that because that's really come a long way for you guys.
Thank you.
Next up, we have the one, the only, well, it depends on what color her hair is because I'm still trying to figure out who she is today. It's blonde today. Stephanie Leland with the Ruidoso Midtown Association. She's our new executive director. So come on down, Stephanie. And I guess you're going to have Mr. Eddie.
Yes, yes,
All right.
yes. He is our official liaison between.
Okay, that's great. Good.
Yes, between the village and RMA.
Okay, excellent. So I know you've been there a couple of months now.
A couple of months now, yes. I started right before Halloween, so that was, I got thrown right into all kinds of projects. And I am learning now all the other projects that we have going on right now. We are currently working on finishing our stuff for Junior Bill Grant, which I know that was supposed to be done June 30th, but we're getting our digital billboard stuff. And I want to thank the village, and Samantha's not in here, I don't think.
She's in the back.
There you are. Thank you for, she was, she helped, last administration get some funds for that country club restroom. So we want to thank you guys for being our fiscal sponsor in that. And I'm just really excited to see what else we can do.
Can you believe that bathroom costs that much?
Yes, I can. Those
Isn't that
prefab
amazing?
I mean, well, whenever they're just gonna just plunk it right out there for
Yeah.
us, that's gonna be real nice. There are definitely some things that we are looking forward to in the 2024 year to come. Our economic transformation strategies that we have working with New Mexico Main Street Program, we're really, really excited about. We want to see what we can do to get locals back down into Midtown, what that looks like, what that means. We want to have a partner with ENMU coming up, and we want to get a business class and a hospitality class going. There's a lot of business owners down in Midtown, and one of their things that they have, that we just see all in kind, is they wish that some of these kids had a little bit more hospitality experience. So we want to see what we can do as far as getting, just even if it's a 2-day class together for some of these before spring break, summer, anything like that. See what we can do to get a marketing partnership going with ENMU, because I know that they've got a whole lot of stuff that's going to be really exciting. And we kind of see that as a workforce coming back to Ruidoso. So I want to see what we can do as far as getting, some of that back down into Midtown, and being able to see what we can do to help some of those business owners out and alleviate some of the pressure that they felt over the very busy last 3 months that seemed like it just kept going on and on and on forever. So one of our big things is we want to make sure that we are there for the district and remind the district that that is who we are there for, and that they can come to us with anything that we need, and whatever needs they have, want, anything, we can help out with them.
Perfect.
So there you go.
'Cause that's a big deal. For the many years that we were down there, there was just no collaboration.
Right.
And everybody was an island to themselves. And that's one of the things over the last, I think, 5 or 6 years especially, that is really transforming, that people are talking to one another, we're sharing information. And that's one of the things that Eddie's working with the lodgers, and then the different things that we go into Midtown. So information, communication's a big thing.
Yes,
So-
yes. And one thing that I've already done a couple of times is, Eddie and I together have gone down and spoken to business owners. I've gone down myself and kind of canvassed the district and let them know who I was. And just even on some of those days, Wednesdays and Thursdays, I still see there are some business owners that aren't open, can't be open, short on help. They've got signs up. And so that was just, one of the things that you learn in marketing is, where is the demand? And that's what I was saying, is these people, the demand is people. And that's really what made Dakota, myself, and Frankie Lee Reynolds want to partner with ENMU and see what we can do to get something going over there that allows them, whenever we all went away and did our formidable years busing and serving in some other place, why don't we have some of those people have their formidable years here busing and serving and working
Exactly.
retail here in Ruidoso. So we want to see what we can do to make that very, make that appealing to work down in Midtown and down in the district. And while still, we love our locals and we want our locals to come down there and be a part of it, we are still very aware that that is the tourist district, and make sure that we do have the demand and the need down there to accommodate all the tourists that we had, because we had a very, very busy season. And so, it's just very nice to be a part of something that, since I was a little girl, I've always loved Midtown. So this is really cool to be a part of this and actually head up and actually help some of the business owners there and listen to what the needs are and the wants and see what we can do for it.
And it's always going to be help. And that's one thing, is that we're really making inroads right now on housing. And so those are initiatives that when we come up with other ones, that we want to partner with you guys to get the information out.
Yes.
On what we're doing, so that it's not, it's all about the narrative. If people get a negative connotation, we're done. So those are big things. And I know we've had hospitality initiatives started before. And that's one of the things I think that it would behoove y'all to reach out and find out why they failed. And a lot of it was that a lot of the kids are in college coming back. You have to plan early. And if we can get businesses like the one I represent, the End of the Mountain Gods, Alto, some of those would help fill the needs to get people to go to do 2 or 3, not so much, it's a certificate. You complete so many days or hours, you get a certificate of how to show up in clean clothes and brush your teeth. Just little simple things that you and I were taught.
Stand up whenever people walk through the door.
Yeah, exactly. And
Acknowledge people.
Exactly, say hello.
so just like that. And so that's a great program, and just because, it's, those things that we're completing now have failed over the last 10, 20 years of not being able to get done. It's all timing and having enough people pushing and pulling in the same direction.
Yes.
So we applaud you for that. And keep in mind, we're all here for you, and, that's the deal. With the village, we put this program up years ago and have worked hard on Main Street, not to back in the 80s, it wasn't a big success because phase 2 was never finished.
Right.
So, we've tried to repair that, and keep it moving forward, but we're all in collaboration, like we love to work with the chamber. We all want to be partners in this together. So anything that we can do, we're here for you. And Eddie has been a great asset just in the short time that he's been here, that he gets things done. So hopefully.
Yeah, and he's been great with RMA with, being a liaison between both of them. We've worked with Sam, we've worked with Matt from Parks and Rec, so I mean, we've definitely had some really great representative from the village, which is really nice. One of the things that we would really love to tackle this year is public safety. I know everybody has probably already almost been hit at one point of the Village Buttery Crossing, and so there's a lot of things that we look forward to coming to you as our
Well,
fiscal
and those are
sponsor
things,
agent.
just, I've already heard some whispers. Those are things you got to remember. It's state highway. We can't go up and over it because you have to be able to get a semi down through it.
Yep.
So there's limitations. We can't tunnel under it. And so we've tried to figure out, why can't we go back and have crosswalks? And maybe you remember when the person was killed in Midtown.
Yep.
So the state, to get rid of it in their infinite wisdom, took away all the crosswalks. So there's no jaywalking in Midtown. You can go anytime you want. But what do we do? And you're right, is we need,
Send it everywhere.
people just walk out. We have personal friends that have been ran over right in front of Jasper's place. What's it called now?
Noisy water.
The one across the street,
The cellar.
Cellar.
Yeah.
She stepped right out, and a gal came up driving a pickup and couldn't see, boom. So we know that we got to have it, and I'm glad that you guys are working on it. We'd love to see some ideas, initiatives on what we could do, make it do better, because you're right, that's a big concern.
There's a grant that opens up in February, that is for public safety and concerns. And we actually have a liaison on New Mexico Main Street that is an NMDOT liaison. They still work for NMDOT, and they have been able to get pedestrian issues fixed in different areas that have their main street also being a state highway. I believe Farmington being one of them, they had a really big issue. And there's a lot of ideas that they come with that are even little things like, we're gonna place flags along the side of it. You pick up a green flag, you hold it up above you, just little things like that. And the two areas that we have really identified are right in front of Elliott's, and especially now that there's gonna be a bathroom over there, there's gonna be people running back and forth. Families are gonna be one of them. It's gonna be people with little kids that go, there's a bathroom, we've got to jet our whole entire family of 10 across the street. And so, yes, and between Noisy Water and the cellar, those have.
Yep.
Those are kind of the places that we have identified that we're looking into. But like I said, NMMS has a liaison that they are willing to give out to us. That's one of the pluses to being an accredited board, is that we do have the ability to use any of their, facilities that they have. So we've got that to our disposal as we need it.
Excellent. Okay, excellent. Yeah, we're looking forward to getting the new sign put up over there.
Yes, yes. So
That we've-
any day now,
We've been
concrete's
working hard
poured.
on electricians and P&M and all of those things.
Yes.
The bathrooms will be a big addition. And then we're looking forward to the new road, the new highway restructuring, paving that's going to start when the season warms up a little. So we're going to need a lot of your help then.
Yes.
Letting everybody know, addressing the concerns, because there will be plenty. And yes, we'll make sure it doesn't impact on Labor Day and Memorial Day. That's a given. But how do we make sure that all the businesses know in education, so.
And one of the big projects that I did with the canvassing is getting everybody's updated emails so that whenever we have meetings and things like that, they will just get a blast email to everybody so that they're being informed of what's going on.
Excellent.
Good.
So that they
Excellent.
can't say they didn't know.
They can still say it.
They can still say it, but
Yeah,
we tried.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah, we've,
Whenever the effort is done on the one part, then
Yeah.
that's
yes.
on them for not checking.
So,
Well, I do appreciate, working, because downtown, yes, on the weekends, it's definitely tourists. But I think it's important to have regular residents be able to go down and enjoy what's going on. And that's why I think it's great that the village is putting a full page in their updates, monthly updates, what's going on. And so there's nothing any more frustrating than somebody from Ruidoso saying, there's nothing to do. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
There's so much to do. Yeah, there's
So I appreciate you working with the residents and the tourists, so.
Of course.
absolutely. Anybody else have any? Do you have any questions of us?
No.
Okay.
Not at the moment. They always come about 3:30 in the morning. so
Sure, yeah,
I'll,
well, don't call
I'll
then,
shoot
that's,
you a text, I'll let you know.
Yeah, right.
that's what our emergency manager does, so we'll just leave that little spot there.
Fantastic.
But Eddie, you can reach out to him, and he has a lot of bandwidth on getting things done. And so we're excited because this has been a growth. And just like with your little, you have, who's the significant others that you have hanging out? There they are, the little baby.
So that, my husband
Precious.
Joey and the baby is Apollo.
Apollo, yeah, little Joey. Good. So we're glad to have, he's not very old, what, about 7 months?
He's only 5 months.
5 months, wow.
Nice.
Excellent. Well, we're glad to have you, and, we started off rocky, feel, felt, found. We've gotten through some of that, so hopefully you'll have all the support that you need. I know you've got a good board,
Yeah, we have an amazing board,
and
yes.
the council's 100% behind all of this, and we want to make sure, do everything we can to help you guys succeed, and staying in touch
Yes.
with those folks down there, and make sure that all the information that we have, that we can get it out. So,
Of course. Yes, thank you guys very much for the support. I appreciate it.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you.
And Eddie's going to be tooling around some movie
Hi,
stars. I mean, some movie executives
All
the
right.
next couple of days. Next, we have a report from Christella on water storage. We'd like to welcome our Forester. Jennifer's in the house. Hello, Jennifer. I'm glad you're here. And maybe a new to be, what are we going to do in planning and zoning if you get elected, Josh?
Hey.
And you don't care, do you? Well, you win your counselor, you do have to care.
And Bill, too.
Yeah, and Bill. And then Bill's in the back, so if we get 1 or 2, we're going to be in a big world of hurt. So, anyway, the shiner's going away. Took a while. Yeah, yeah. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Mayor and council, I appreciate your time. Prior to the snow, Lincoln County was listed as an extreme drought. So I'm sure that's going to be reassessed in the near future. But given that, Ashley and I were looking at what our water situation was. We were working with water production to look at what water we have in our tanks. And right now, the majority of the tanks are full. We're looking good in that area. We've looked at a plan to make sure that we're cycling through our different wells to allow our aquifers to recharge.
Yes.
So that we're not using our wells and diminishing all our water resources in one area. There are times, especially during high tourist season, where we may have to divert from Alto, but we're trying to avoid doing that. So right now, it's looking much better now that we've had the snow and the precipitation. But like I said, we're in an extreme drought situation prior to this. So for our strategic plan in this next 2024, we're looking at a water conservation effort to see what we can do internally with the Village of Ruidoso departments to help mitigate some of the water that we use internally, and then also look at other ways to mitigate our usage of water. But I just wanted to give you an update on where we are with the drought, and hopefully those numbers will be updated and we'll be able to change that map and see that we're in a better spot.
Good.
But right now, like we were saying, the tanks are, the majority of them are at least 85% full, with many at least 92%, so.
And we are diverting from Upper Canyon, correct?
Into,
To Grindstone?
yes, if the flow allows, we do.
Right,
Yes.
right. Because looking at the report, we're just over the limit, and I forgot 400-something gallons a minute's being diverted.
Yeah, if the flow allows and if the return flow allows, we do, yes.
Right.
Anybody else? Go
It's
ahead.
only 150 gallons per minute that's going in there and stuff. And then I know we're doing the tank rehab starting up, I think this week.
It was supposed to start yesterday, but due to the weather, they
Right.
delayed it to next week, and that's gonna be Grindstone Tank 1. So that tank is empty right now in anticipation of that,
Okay. Because that was my next question. You said all our tanks were full,
with
but
the exception of
with
Grindstone.
the exception
yeah.
of the 1 million, right?
Grindstone Tank.
Yes, it's gonna be it's the 1 mil.
Windmill.
Have we exercised our connection from Plant 3 to, I'm looking at Adam, the bypass or anything? Have we ever exercised that? I would suggest maybe trying that out if, yeah, the interconnect, so, okay, but, yeah, I mean, it's always good. I know for February 2nd is the day you work on your mowers, so I'm thinking here for Memorial Weekend that we make sure for any unforeseen circumstances, because you're correct, Mayor, I mean, we need as much moisture as we could get right now.
And we have been working with, we'll have a meeting this next week with the Dorgans.
Yes, on Thursday.
But with the temperatures and extra snow and stuff that we've got, that's greatly relieved that issue, I would hope.
It has.
Okay.
And
So-
Chris, and also, and Ashley, what's the timeline of the rehabilitation of the tank? What are we looking at?
For Grindstone,
Yes.
I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to
Okay.
check with Randy.
How long will it take to fill that tank after we get it rehabbed?
It's one of the first tanks off of Water Treatment Plant 4, and so I assume it'll probably be pretty quick, once they get it all rehabbed.
Okay.
Okay.
But even, as the tourists have left, we've seen our water usage diminish tremendously. I think we're down 36% just in the last week. So that's a huge drop.
Okay.
And we're checking internally for leaks, working with Adam's group to identify any leaks that we see on a daily basis, not just, for businesses, but for individuals, so we can get someone out there right away to notify somebody. So we're trying to do whatever we can to diminish any water loss. But we haven't, Adam's group has been really good at getting out there and letting people know so that they're not surprised when the bill comes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we totally got that tank fixed on the little incident with the contractor for Mescalero, where they messed up our plant, it's totally repaired. Okay, anybody else have any questions? Just wanted to bring that up because with the drought that was, that we were all experiencing, the lack of moisture, we like to have it on record that you guys are all over that this is not just a once in a quarter, once in a year deal that we talk about it every day, and that you guys are on that, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And Mayor and Council, also with the election coming up, we'll be working with the Water Resources team and Adam on the general obligation bond for the water infrastructure project. So we'll have some meetings scheduled visiting the Rotary and some of the Lions Club, the other one, just to promote that bond.
Sure.
So.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Okay. I see Minnie stepped out for a while. Did he get to skate? We're just talking about the sergeant is through our program that the chief is talking about, and we've talked about, is is how do we replace people that we have? You know, we're trying to train throughout the ranks or whatever. So they have, Seth Caruth has been here, and he was following you around yesterday, so. Anyway, we'll move on to boards and commissions for appointments. We have an appointment to the Keep Ruidoso Beautiful Board. She served on many, many other boards, commissions, you name it around town. Also El Paso. Her name is Karen Joyce, and so I would submit her name to you for approval.
Mayor, I would like to accept the appointment for Karen Joyce for the Keep Ruidoso Beautiful Board.
Second.
Okay, we have a first and a second, and this is for T-Bone. Thank you for putting her name up to us.
She's actually listening.
Oh, is she?
On YouTube.
Okay, well, we appreciate it, Karen, that you're willing to serve and volunteer, and we get comments all the time that we talk to T-Bone and that group about the cleanliness of the village. So we appreciate your service. Could I get a roll call, please, ma'am?
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Now we'll move on to the manager's report. Ron?
All right, thank you, Mayor, Council. First up, I'm going to have Mike. He's going to give an update on the grapple trucks, the solid waste trucks, and also on 603 Meacham Drive project.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. Well, Mayor, as you pointed out earlier, we've been getting some calls on sanitation and solid waste, and so I wanted to just make sure that we were giving council an update. As many of you know, we've had a couple of issues with trucks, both with our solid waste trucks and our grapple trucks. Some of those have gone down, one due to accidents and wreckage. We had that brand-new trash truck that was 3 weeks old go down, and so we've been working to replace that with the insurance. Another one has been due to parts and then just old age, about 2007 truck. And so on one truck, we have a Hunter truck that's about 120 days out. So that should be getting here by April. That one's the longer one that we're waiting for. On our second truck, we've been working with Universal Waste. So that's the group that took over at the county. They've been a large help with us. That is the unit that was wrecked on the 20th that they've been working with us on. So once the insurance handled everything, we really had the new can and the chassis scheduled to ship from the factory to be placed on some of those initial parts so that we can get it here faster. And so we've been working with them. It looks like on the chassis should arrive on the first or second week of February, and then that'll take initial 10 days for installation. Hopefully that one will be here quicker. That should be here in March. So once all of that gets done, we'll have our 2 trucks up. What we're doing in the meantime is we're getting a lease with the Universal Waste. And so what they're doing is they're going to lease us a truck basically for $1. And then on top of that, they created a really good rate for us. We're going to be roughly paying, I believe it's $450 a day. And so for those of you that recall our previous amounts that we were paying close to about $1,300 for 3 days. So this is significantly less. They're going to be able to provide a driver and the truck to help us hit a lot of those dumpsters that we haven't seen. We've also had some other issues, phone calls about a lot of individuals that haven't had their trash picked up in the last 2 days. Obviously, a major part of that is the storm. And so we weren't able to get to some of the areas with steep streets. We have cleaned a lot of those up this morning. As the snow melts, we'll be getting our trucks out there. Adam and Josh's guys have been doing amazing. They've been knocking that out of the park, but they are salting some of those higher areas. As you know, our snow removal plan, those roads that are primary and secondary, some of those outer streets haven't been hit by salt, and so we're doing that now. But those are really where the larger solid waste trucks couldn't get in, and so when they did try, they slid off the road, and so we want to make sure that we're keeping our guys safe as well. So we're holding off on those areas, but they'll be hit in the next day or two as well. As far as grapple goes, I know you've also seen some calls come in for leftover slash that are out. So we've had 2 trucks that have been down just because of parts. Parts are taking anywhere between 8 to 12 weeks to get. We've ordered them. We've been waiting. Jerry's actually been working with finance to see if we can put a grapple truck on the agenda so we can buy another one. But what we have done is we have another lease for a grapple truck, which is $1. I'm sorry, the leasing agreement was for the grapple truck as well. And so they're gonna be assisting us, really trying to get those grapple trucks out and helping with the slash. We did have one guy out as well, so we're missing a person on that area. You just saw someone from solid waste that we're bringing in, so we need to look at beefing that up a little bit more. But we do have the trucks coming in now. We're hoping to buy another one. And that way we can really start cleaning up. But we are looking at scheduling some coordination or more coordination, especially now that you've seen a lot of forestry going to municipal court. And so that's creating a lot of cleanups across the board and extra slash in places. Even as we go and pick it up within the month, there's already extra that's out there just from people that are cleaning and making sure they're compliant. So we're having to go back out and pick up more than usual. So those are the two items on grapple and solid waste. Any questions related to those?
Nope, I think we're good.
Another item, I'm gonna jump one to 603 Meacham. So 603 Meacham, as all of you know, is the property that we own off of Meacham Drive. I actually live on the property. It's a great piece. The village has been working with the site plan to make sure that we had that in order, and we've been working aggressively to try and figure out how to get anywhere between 13 and 17 units on there so that it's not as crowded. Most recently, there was a call that the mayor had. We were given an opportunity for some possible funding, up to $3 million. And so that money, if everything goes the way it should, would hopefully pay for those units. Since then, what that means is that village staff has worked on a presentation to show exactly what the budget looks like, what Samantha's been working on that. It's done and it's been submitted to the governor's office on the housing person. We put a presentation together. It basically shows the outline of what our project would be on 603 Meacham, the idea behind it. And what we're doing now is finishing off an RFP quickly to make sure that we can go out for a master agreement. Those units are going to be more traditionally shaped units with traditional features in them. Not necessarily like you have at Meacham Meadows, but more advanced from a perspective of community. And so it's going to be more of a neighborhood style setup. But we'll be going out aggressively for an RFP on that. Once we get the responses back, we'll be able to award quickly. So you'll see that on the agenda coming up here soon. Once that's in place with that master agreement, we'll work aggressively with those funding components to finish them. There is a timeline attached to the funding, and that is June 30th. And so we will be moving quickly to make sure that we get all of that in place. And so it's aggressive, but I think it's a huge opportunity the village has an opportunity to take advantage of, so.
And Mayor Crawford, members of the council, when we had that meeting with the governor's office, the liaison, I asked, how do we apply for the grant fund? She said, this is your application period as we speak, so.
Yeah, it was pretty much a promise, so we'll see how that.
So Mike, I want to also have you and Samantha, if Samantha wants to come up, just give an update on the Chapter 54. Dates were not going to work this month, so we just wanted to let the council know, possibly doing it in February sometime, so let's go ahead and just.
Sure. And touch on 99 Sunny Slope while you're sitting there.
And Adam's doing the 99.
Oh, 99 is Sunny Slope? Okay.
Yep.
I mean, Adam.
So just a quick update on Chapter 54. One of the things is that we didn't want it to be rushed, and Sam can touch on the backside of this, but so we were not rushed and everyone's trying to get through things. I know January is a busy month. We do have a conflict, and so we're rescheduling with some of those things that have popped up. But I do believe that Chapter 54 will require all of our attention. We want all of us to be here so that we're not all out. And I think it'll be good. So you'll see it a little bit more in that. And on Chapter 54 itself, the cleanup.
Yes, so we have all the documents ready to present to you all along with some checklists that'll make it more user-friendly as residents and developers are trying to apply the code to what they will envision their business being. So we've got a lot of information to present to you all.
That's next week.
So we need to select another
Another day,
date.
because.
February is what we're looking at, sometime in February, after we get back from the municipal league and the Lincoln County days, so.
Yes.
Okay, anything else? Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Samantha. Mr. Adam? And while Adam's coming up here, just some other items. Mayor, congratulations. I know you, January the 1st, you're now the president of the municipal league for 2 years, so that's, we as a village of Ruidoso benefit very much having the mayor as our president, and, it's always glad that we can talk to the mayor. He's the president of the New Mexico Municipal League, so congratulations, Mayor.
Thank you.
Has it always been 2 years?
No, it's just one, but because,
Because you're so
no,
great?
because Tessa didn't get reelected. She's too progressive. That's what I was told. That's just the sidebar. But anyway, I appreciate it. Thank you. So no, by default, I got moved up and to take over 2 years. And then what I've done is enlist a past president to just kind of go, because usually this is the year that
Yeah, you
I
learned
shadow
how
the
to-
president,
yes.
but I've already been their secretary and vice president.
Sure.
And so this is a
That's great.
continuing on. So yeah, I think it's fortunate for us. It really is.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir, Sunny Slope.
So, 99 Sunny Slope, house has been set, tied down, or pinned. Myself and Ron have reached out to AAA Homes for the HVAC system and the skirting on the house. Jack Johnson is gonna stub out the utilities before they skirt it and get the HVAC and the power in. Ricky LeMay has set the pole. We're waiting on P&M to make it live. As soon as Jack Johnson stubs the utilities out, my crew will go out to the street and time in. So, other than that, the only other issue we gotta deal with is the stairs on the house, and I think Ron has.
And Mayor Crawford, members of the council, we're working with John Russo and Levi and trying to design some stairs. We're not sure we want to put any porches like the other locations, but we will have to get approved through New Mexico CID some stairs. So, and Mayor, we'll talk some more on that also.
Why wouldn't we put up a little porch?
Well, it could, but they were so expensive the last time, and we built we had the porches built, and then we were gonna have the stairs built, and the stairs cost as much as the house almost.
Right.
When you go through all this CES contracting and all this stuff, they're so expensive, so we elected to build some ourselves.
Right. And Mayor Crawford, Councilor Lutterman, we will have John Russell take a look at it, and even with putting together even the porches, and then we'll price it out. We want to try to do it just a small procurement and save some money, so that's what we're trying to do.
And part of it is you can't attach the porch, is what we went into, because those are still called, what we're talking about is 603 Meacham are modular homes that stay, they're houses.
I know.
And then the others are the trailer house
You can
variety.
hook up and take it off.
So these have to be separate, and so there's a little more design to them.
But we'll continue to work on that, and if we can, I mean, we're going to look at our available funds also, but we'll work on all that, so.
And if not, we can take the stairs away and they can climb in like Ron did, it's
Give him a hand up.
just lift him up.
Yeah.
I was having a hard time because it looked like to me that it was set backwards. It didn't look like that was the front. I was looking.
Yeah, that's my connect. Is the front door facing Sunny Slope? Because there's just one window on the
I
far
know, I
left
kept,
and the door. and that's-
exactly, I kept
it looked
thinking,
like the back.
oh my
No.
God, they set this backwards.
The laundry room is in the back where the back door's at, so that is the correct, when you go into the living room and then to the kitchen, so,
Wow,
yeah.
I would have thought there would have been a window in the living
I
room.
agree.
And Mayor Crawford, members of the council, also is maybe some sort of fencing we may have to just do around the property too, so just, we'll work on that also.
Yeah, we want it to be very nice.
Yes, have some privacy and other things too, so we'll continue to work on it. Any suggestions will be great, so.
As soon as all the utilities are set, we'll go ahead and grade that out and make a nice driveway and everything there. Jack Johnson's actually gonna do that for us.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you.
All right, next is Mr. Matthew.
Machu Baird.
And T-Bone. I'm sorry,
And T-Bone.
T-Bone.
A partner in crime.
It was like Buster Brown He lives in a shoe. Here's his dog T-Bone. He lives in there too, so. So you've got together some little diagrams for us so we can see.
Yes, sir.
And Mayor Crawford,
Appreciate you.
members of the council, while they're setting up over here, just a reminder that we'll have the State of the Village. This will be on January the 29th at 6 PM. The mayor will present that. Also, we'll begin our strategic planning workshop meeting, the end of the month, so we'll provide additional information on that too. And the municipal official, the institute is beginning tomorrow, and I know Councilor Jackson will be attending that, and so will the mayor, so.
Good.
Alrighty, let's see, technology working, there we go. So I'm gonna talk about the bathrooms at the other facilities also that we just purchased, or that we're purchasing now, that y'all just approved. So this first one's gonna be North Park. And so you can see the fire station there, the baseball field, the skate park. The little yellow square will be the new, approximately where the new bathroom is.
You know, that's where parking is.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, so the issue is, so we looked at putting it over in where the triangle is, right in here. However, then you'll have little kids crossing the road to go to the bathroom.
What about up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up here?
No.
Behind.
Above it is, there's the full pump track up there.
Uh-huh.
And so really all the land's used up. You have a pump track above it, and then the skate park and the
Well, I can see the skate park and everything, but up there by the pump track, there's not a spot. That's our property too.
it's all pump track up there. And I can't move it on this, view, but.
That just seems like to me you're shooting yourself in both feet right there.
The other reason we wanted.
That's a floodplain too, I believe. That's in the flood.
Is it a vault toilet?
No,
It's a movable toilet.
yeah, we can move it, but no, it's a flush toilet.
So it goes into the
The
sewer.
Yes. And so we do have water and sewer that runs right there.
It is nice to have it, I understand there, so that the people
From
walking
the
the
trail,
links
yes.
can also
And also
have it
access it.
available.
It is a
trail grant also.
Yes.
Trails Plus grant, so.
So what does that mean?
It's just, their focus of that grant is trails. It doesn't have to be trails. It can be any recreation improvement, but that's kind of the focus of the grant. And we get about $500,000 a year from that grant. We have for the past several years, so I want to keep them happy.
Oh, well, we're not gonna do anything like that, but I don't wanna dictate something stupid just because somebody wrote it that way. So that's what I'm saying is, we've looked at that and that's our best option.
No, I believe so, yes, sir.
Mayor Crawford, members of the council, Matthew, we'll have to, I know Adam, that area there gets pretty swampy also.
Yeah.
But we do need to see where else we might have another area. Also, the funding, this is the 500,000 from the capital outlay, correct? Okay, so there's not any
Strings.
type of restrictions on that where we can put it anywhere, so.
I do like it that the trails are right
Yeah.
there and whatever, but there's usually big ruts through there,
It's
like you
because
said, muddy.
people are parking, you know, they have their.
Ravine that runs down through there.
Yes.
Yeah, the ravine's
Oh,
right
right there,
here on this
yeah.
area here.
Right.
And then there's a ditch right here. And so what that bathroom will look like is, this is one side of it, so both the front and the back will have two doors. It is, and those colors aren't exactly, it's just their stock photos, what they have. But it's 4 individual bathrooms. And so, 2 on the front, 2 on the back. And we chose that style because the Little League field is right there.
Yeah.
And you have moms with 3 or 4 kids. It's easier to run them all into one bathroom and just be able to handle all the business at one time.
I think this is very important. This is good.
And really, we had to get it on council today to be able to get it ordered. We will have, the next 5 months to figure out an exact location there at the park to the best spot to put it. So then I'll move on to Schoolhouse Park if we don't have any more questions there. Okay, so Schoolhouse Park, this is the map that y'all saw last month. The green tennis court will be, replaced by lodger's tax funding. The yellow tennis court is replaced by quality of life grant. The new bathroom, which those tennis courts are.
You already
gonna
have the funding for the one from lodger's tax?
Yes.
You already got
It was
it
approved this last year. So, the tennis courts will be the double battery tennis courts like what's there now. Each double battery will have a fence around it. I'm not sure if they'll be the two color, which they'll most likely be two color like this, or a single color, but I plan on two color. They will not be striped for pickleball. It will be solely
Right.
striped for tennis. All of our pickleball facilities are over here at White Mountain.
Right.
So, and we'll go on, we will be removing the old white bathrooms on the hill in place of putting in new bathrooms between, the tennis court and the pool. So this actually shows on the map, I didn't get it changed, the tennis courts facing west, or the, bathrooms facing west. We're actually gonna face them south, because it'll be easier to egress into them from that parking lot. If not, we'll have to build up a lot of land right in here, and so it'll just be easier to get to them from the parking lot. So the look of that bathroom is gonna be similar to this.
Yeah.
This is the same, it's not the same style, but it's the same layout of bathroom as what's at the Grindstone Disc Golf Course. 2 individual bathrooms, they'll both be unisex. And they will both have baby changing stations in them as well. All of our bathrooms here on out will have a baby changing station in each side or in each bathroom.
And those are plumbed?
Yes, sir. All of these bathrooms are hard plumbed in.
Do they have heat in them?
No, we put heaters in the pipe chases in the winter and to keep the pipes warm, and so they can run all year long. But we don't heat the actual building, for a couple reasons. One, it helps keep homeless out of them. And two, to add heat, if you buy them with heat, it adds a significant cost
Yeah.
because it changes insulation packages and stuff. And so we can just put heaters in them when they get here and it's a lot cheaper.
Do we lock them up every day?
Yeah, yes, all of
Every
these,
night.
all these new bathrooms will have digital locks with digital timers on them. And so, at 7 PM, they'll lock,
Okay.
and they'll unlock at 7 AM. If somebody is in there while they lock, there is an emergency exit button. You push the button, it opens the door, and then lets them out, and then it'll lock it back behind them. The next thing we'll move to is the fence. And so as a little zoomed in here of the fence, you'll see it comes around by the pool along Suttereth, and then right here it angles back towards the community center, the corner. It leaves that kind of this area right out here outside the park. The reason we did that is one, the sign for the community center's out there, and we don't want to interrupt the viewing of the sign. Also, there's a lot of utilities out there. There's a power pole, guideline wires, things like that. So to keep it outside of the play area, we're gonna move the fence inside of that. So what that fence is gonna look like is it'll be a wrought iron fence. This is the schematic drawing of it, but the picture is more, this is what it'll look like. It's just,
Yeah, I like that.
it won't have the points on each, wrought iron. It'll actually be flat tops, but everything else will look like this fence is.
A 5-foot fence? or
6 foot.
6 foot.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good.
And so it'll be decorative, it'll look real nice. You'll show the playground great through it, which we'll look at, a sample of the playground. It's not the exact one, we're waiting to finalize that, but. So that moves us on to removing the old playground from where its current location is, to relocating it over here. And some samples of playgrounds that are within our budget, are like this style playground. And so this is from the back side of the playground. Like I said, this isn't the exact playground, but this is a style.
Kinda.
And then this is what the front of it looks
Well,
like.
that's nice.
And so, this actually, playgrounds like this, they usually have a front because they face a road and in a parking lot. This one, we have a road on one side and parking lot on the other, so me and T-Bone have been like trying to figure out which way to face it. We don't know whether we want to see all the cool features on the roadside or the nice front on the roadside, so.
I think the nice front on the roadside.
So it all, like I said, we have a little bit of time. We're just, and we will have this on council next month for actually purchasing the equipment.
And what did you decide to make the ground?
So the ground is what's called pour in place, and I should have brought that sample. So it's a rubberized surface, but it's a solid surface. And so it'll have about a foot of these large, long, elongated beads, rubber beads, that they put in and they're glued all together. And then it has about an inch to 2 inches of small pellets that are all glued and compressed together. And so it's a fall zone, but it's very little maintenance on it, and it's kind of the new way of going. It also is ADA compliant, and so you can push a wheelchair across it and it'll be just fine and things like that. So these are kind of the samples of the playgrounds we're looking at.
Now, the animals will be able to get to that, right?
There will be, there
One
won't be,
side.
yeah, the backside, the animals will be. But I don't think that that's gonna be a major issue at that location. We haven't seen a major issue. I say that and then they'll all
Yeah.
move there, but,
I used to work right there. It was bear, turkey,
Yeah.
deer, elk.
just never know what you're gonna get. But with this playground, we do also have this bathroom right here that will service that playground. And so if we have some money left over on this grant, we're gonna try to renovate that bathroom. Just the inside, bring it up to date a little bit. We'll just have to see the funds we have left at the end of it. And reminder that the community center is going to be getting an addition soon. And so it's gonna be squaring off the building here. So this pavilion will have to be removed, either moved or completely removed and
We
we'll
don't have
replace
the
it.
money, we're trying to
Yeah.
get the money.
Yeah, that's we're have the
in the
drawings.
plan.
Yeah, it's in the plan. And so, we do plan on, if we move this pavilion, it will be moved over by the playground. Or if it's completely removed, then we're gonna put one by the playground.
Nice.
And so this is Schoolhouse Park. I'll ask for any questions at Schoolhouse.
I love it.
Okay. And then we'll move over to Country Club. It's an old satellite shot, so the gray square is where our current parking lot is. And then the blue building, or the blue square is where the current bathroom, the mobile bathroom is, and that's where we're proposing the new bathroom at as well. We didn't want to put it up on the road because we just don't, we don't want that the first thing you see coming into Midtown is the bathroom. But we want it to be accessible and easily viewable, but not the first thing you see. So that's where we put it at. If it, in future, if we do fully develop this lot, as the mayor talked about earlier, all these buildings are easily moved. Even though they're concrete, stable building there, we can call a crane company out, actually lift them, re-put a pad somewhere else, stub it up, set them back down, and eliminate those stubs that were theirs.
How would we let the tourists and people know that there's a bathroom there?
So it would be a decent size. I mean, it's just like the trailer bathrooms that are there now. It'll be fairly easy to see, especially the ones that park down there.
Yeah.
And then we'll have signage in Midtown
Okay.
that will just point them that way.
Plus all
Show
the
us where-
shops will know.
Yeah, show us where the new sign's going again.
The new sign
Right.
is approximately right in here.
Right, and then,
Did we get the other sign on?
yes. And so go all the way back to usable space, all the way back south, right there.
Yes.
So that's where you usually have the.
Farmer's market.
Farmer's market is all the way back there, and the bandstand and all
Yes,
that.
sir.
So are you gonna have the doors facing the parking lot, or are they gonna be doors all the way around on this one?
No, this one will just have two front doors, so this is what this one will look
Okay.
like.
Nice.
It's the exact same one that's in Wingfield Park right now.
Okay, so that square is parking.
Yeah.
Yes, the gray square is parking.
Gray square, that's where we're, what did you think?
bathroom, big bathroom.
The gray square is parking, so it will look like the one that's in.
Okay.
And honestly, we haven't decided which way to point it yet. I kind of like towards the parking lot. It's just cleaner that way, I think. But
That'd be better from a security aspect too, if somebody's coming by to look and see.
yeah, for PD to drive through and things like that. And so,
Okay.
those are kind of our big project
What's about
updates.
Two Rivers? Thought we were redoing.
Two Rivers, I did not get that on the map. Two Rivers is also a playground. So
Right.
that playground rendering that we saw, for
was-
this one, it was originally for Two Rivers, but it was way over budget for Two Rivers. And so I wrote it into the budget for the grant, and we got it. And so we are actually meeting with the gentleman with that company, Playwell, and on Thursday at 11 o'clock, to get a new rendering for Two Rivers, to be able to replace that playground. We went out after several companies and for Two Rivers to get renderings, and Playwell by far had the nicest playgrounds. A lot of them had the small playgrounds that are like at Two Rivers for the same price as that one. And so, for the value, they by far had and they're all built fairly, pretty much the same. So quality-wise, they're all good quality.
Very good.
Yeah, that's great.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And this was all approved through Parks and Rec Commission,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Good,
They were all really happy with it. So.
good.
Anybody else? Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Mayor Crawford, members of the council, and I'll stand for any questions on any other items on the manager's report.
Good report.
Anybody have anything?
No,
You pretty well covered most everything. We appreciate it.
Josh is standing up.
He's leaving.
We'll do reports from municipal officials, and we'll start over here to my right to Dr. Jackson.
Mr. Mayor, in deference to the time restraints we have, I think a shout out to all those who participated and volunteered their services through the holiday season to make it what it was, which was great. I want to commend everybody.
Well, I always get, because usually I start over here and you get down, you have to say words like kudo or ditto or concur. But also to the people that kept the warming center open.
Yes.
Y'all did a good job volunteering for that, putting that together. That was really the only one in the state that was that way, and I've received several calls commending us for it, and it was nothing that we did. So I want to thank, probably Eric, you were the one that was spearheading that.
Thanks,
And
Eric.
everybody else working together to make that happen. Good
Mike,
job.
thank you.
Counselor Hooker?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's National Law Enforcement Day, so great job, cops. Thanks. Had a lady call me the other day frustrated about the elk tearing up her Christmas decorations. I believe she did get a hold of the village, and same information was given. That's something we don't really control. The elk belong to the Game and Fish. The last thing, it's a question. And talking to my wife, we were driving around yesterday in the snow, and you saw the people complaining on social media about the removal. Just as a guess, how many trucks do you think we have now that have blades? As opposed
20?
Yeah. I mean, like,
At least 20?
from the PD, the fire department, all that stuff, and where I go with that, even when I came here 8 years ago, it wasn't that way. And so, I mean, I think there's a massive effort that the village has put on, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, but it's just something that gets me pretty frustrated.
No, me too.
You know, there needs to be some self-reliance on yourself.
Yeah.
Where you live, how you live, what your road looks like, you know when it's coming, but the village, I guarantee you, has made multiple efforts to have the ability to do it.
Right.
So thank you.
It's just like, and I'll send you the new contact for Albertsons. You know, they were calling us, wanting to know why we weren't taking care of that slope. Well, it's not our property, number one.
Yeah, that was bad too.
So anyway, I've got the new contact for you. I'll send it to you, Adam. So, but you guys did a great job.
Yeah.
Counselor Salas, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Ditto. That same lady called me too, and I recommended using a paintball gun to shoot them off and get them away, but, or at least I throw a disc at the ones that come raiding my our yard and family, but that's going there. But I will, Mayor, as if I may, as the Mayor Pro Tem, proclaim January 10th, 2024 as the Shipping Salas Day. It's her birthday.
Awesome.
And I'm really trying to make amends and stuff. I fired her as my ski coach last Friday, and boy, you know, I'm back to eating out of a can. So, but no, in all honesty, she's, yeah, very happy for her birthday. She volunteers for our community a lot, and I just want to recognize her for that. And with that being said, I will miss the strategic planning and the state of the village meetings because I planned a ski trip up to Wolf Creek, and that was planned back in September, so. But I will submit my comments and stuff as far as that's concerned. And other than that, that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Counselor Letterman?
I too received the phone call.
I don't think anyone missed that phone call.
She didn't call me this time, so.
But totally I'm not making fun. I totally understand where she's coming from. It can be very frustrating. And it's not that we have our head in the sand either, but we do have our hands tied at some point about the wildlife. Happy New Year to everybody. Looking forward to the next couple of months, and I always enjoy the strategic planning sessions. Appreciate Parks and Rec with all of their beautiful lights. Received so many compliments about that. And all of the hard work that the roads, and I'll have to tell you that I looked out the window this afternoon, before I came, and our trash truck has not been able to come up our road. And Solid Waste had their little truck, and he was in our dumpster taking out the trash. And so, not just mine, all the way down the hill. So I appreciate everything that our board of directors and our employees do.
Absolutely.
Great job.
Yep. Joseph?
Thank you, Mayor. You know, many, many years ago, when it snowed, sometimes I'd wait 3-4 days before my street got plowed, and sometimes it was never. So the village has made quite a bit of improvements. In fact, I was out yesterday morning at about 6:30 going through town, and I personally passed or saw maybe six, 7 pickup trucks with snowplows working, and also the Parks and Rec down there in Midtown working that early in the morning. So they're out there working. And sorry to the lady that she didn't get her street plowed quick enough, but they are working on it there. But I want to congratulate the Parks and Rec for all the work that they do.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
for receiving the Department of the Quarter, because they do a lot of work, and also all the other departments to make this village what it is today. And what was that, Councilor Letterman said earlier, that some people complain that there's nothing to do. Hey, you should have lived here back in the 60s.
Exactly.
There wasn't even streetlights in town. It was dark, and there really wasn't much to do except cruise back and forth. You might see the same car passing you every time you went through town, but it was really not much to do then. But I mean, there's a world of difference now in Ruidoso than it was back even 20 years ago.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, and I want to appreciate the village for recognizing all the employees at the Christmas party. That was a great thing that the village does for the employees to show their appreciation. So thank for everyone that stuck around for the longevity award.
Yep.
We did ask each and every one of them if they had 5 or 10 more years in them.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I believe that, who knows, we might get a promise from Mayor Pro Tem Rifle and Susan Letterman that if we don't make it, that, just like me, I'm up for planning and zoning.
There you go.
I'm up for the
We'll
warm
swap
fire.
places there.
All right, and that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, well,
Mayor,
thank you, guys.
I have to tell you, I was talking with Josh a while ago, and we were talking about the streets and how good they were. Honestly, when I was in high school, and we did receive a lot more snow then, but they would put it right in the middle, and just every once in a while, there would be a cut-in, and I had a Volkswagen, and I would, there's somebody we wanted to see, and we'd all get out and hoist my Volkswagen over so that we could go up the next route.
Yeah.
So it has come a long way.
Long way, yeah. Yeah, it's that what have you done for me lately kind of deal.
Should have done it
Yeah,
yesterday instead of today.
and you guys need to start thinking out of the box. I hear that a lot. And, but I'm very proud of what our staff does. If the people really paid attention, and we do. We get people that have lived here that comment all the time that they really see the differences that are being made in the level of services that we provide. And so much of that is in Parks and Rec, solid waste, big time. But then when we have a water leak, that we're more prepared And we're able now to replace our equipment and to add equipment, which adds to the productivity that we have. So we're real tickled about that. And then thanks to a little call, I don't know if he sent a letter from our attorney to the people outfitting our police cars,
Right.
that we got a response from them. Now, right, Chief? Got 4 responses.
We had 2 delivered last week, and then we're actually going tomorrow to get the other 2. So within a little over about 2.5 weeks, we got 4 out.
And these are cars we've been trying to get for, what, almost 2 years, or at least? And then we're down to getting them outfitted with all the police specialized equipment, and we've been waiting another 6-8 months. So we finally got past whining about it and pulled out the stick over here and sent it to them, so. Way to go. We'll see if we may have to go back in and clean up. All right, well, thank you, everybody. We'll move on to public hearings. Public hearing on a proposed ordinance 2023-07, an ordinance amending the Village of Ruidoso Municipal Code of Ordinances, Chapter 38, Environment, amending Section 38-81C. And we have is this going to be Jenny? Zachary?
Mayor and council, this comes out of State Statute 3-18-5 is what's commonly referred to as the clean and lean statute. And we have adopted an ordinance that pretty much mirrors that statute. Bobby Simpson and I and others have gone round and round, and we talk about this at the municipal lawyers conferences frequently too, that statute and our ordinance say that when you guys adopt a resolution to clean up a certain piece of property in town, you have the authority to file a lien, but when you adopt the ordinance, you post it or deliver it to the property owner or the person in control of the property. And the statute is clear that they have 10 days to commence cleaning up the property. But the statute does not say how soon they have to complete that project. So we've had cases where Bobby posts the resolution that you guys adopt. They go out and commence cleaning up the property, and then that project stops. And so we're left not knowing, what to do. There's no cases that have been litigated on that particular section of statute. And this is the only thing that we've thought of that can give us some sort of guidance, is you guys amending that ordinance. And it goes beyond what the statute says, but at a certain time, you just gotta decide, are you going to let that control what you guys do and just keep coming back with the same property to adopt a new resolution over and over again? Or the only thing that we can do is amend our ordinance that says that you have 30 days under this or such other time, depending on whatever the circumstances may be. You guys hear, Bobby would present the resolution to you guys, and depending whatever circumstances there are, and if the person comes and says, I'll do it, please give me 90 days or whatever the certain circumstances are behind each case, you guys are open to provide whatever additional time. But I guess the default time period is you got 10 days to start and you got 30 days to end. That's what this ordinance amendment would accomplish.
Okay. Thank you.
And then we wouldn't have to just keep going back over
Right.
and over.
Starting over.
Yeah.
And, there's a risk. Everything the world changed for you guys, as if there weren't enough risks already. But, with the Civil Rights Act, I think that this could be, I think every municipal attorney is like, oh God, what are we gonna do? How are they gonna claim this, or frame a lawsuit against us? But I think a court would, I would have no problem going into a court on this and arguing that the legislature, when they adopt the 318.5, they gave us the authority, but they didn't close the loop on what we do. So I think a court would, maybe not some judges around here, but
Yep.
but that's just the risk that we got to take.
Yep. Okay. So this is a public hearing, so I'll open it up to the public. At this time, is there anybody that would like to be recognized to speak for or against this? At this time, you need to be recognized. If there's anybody online, please signify by hitting the raising your hand button. Okay, I don't see anybody in the audience, so we'll close that portion for the public portion of that, and then I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve ordinance 2023-07, an ordinance amending the Village of Ruidoso Municipal Code of Ordinances, Chapter 38, Environment Amending Section 38-81C.
Second.
Question.
Any discussion? Go ahead.
The question would be that, is there another section of the ordinance where it states where the 30 days starts, when it starts? I don't see it. You know, it gives the timeframe of 30 days, or which is provided by the governing body after removal of the building structure. Is there another section pertaining to this as far in the ordinance that specifies when that 30 days starts?
So within the ordinance, depending on what portion you look at, the timeframes differentiate. So the 10 days typically comes from something that is that has something that needs to be done quickly, so it's a hazard. So that's where you get the statute referring to must be commenced within 10 days. We're talking about a very short time frame. A lot of our property nuisance things, tall weeds and grass, things of that nature need to be addressed typically within 15 days or have a plan within 15 days. There's a portion in the ordinance for that. The 30 days is just a very common, and Zach, you can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but just a very common time frame. 30 days is a starting point. So in all of our cases, if somebody requests 30 days to get something complete, I don't hold them to that 10 days if they give me something reasonable. And that's only in the beginning portions of our code enforcement violations. But I believe 30 days is just a common rule of thumb.
Well, the question was, how does that 30 days, the starting point, get started? Figured, when does it start? But your conversation with the building owner, or a passing of a resolution, or?
So you're referring specifically to the verbiage that's in this. So the 30 days is the end time frame. And again, Zach, you can correct me on this. But once the resolution passes, we have to give proper notice. That proper notice is given once we meet, the proper notification is typically posting in a newspaper and posting on the property and or a certified mailing. Once that begins, that typically begins the 10 days. That would also begin the 30 days. So it must be completed within 30 days. So once proper notification is given, it must be completed within 30 days or as the governing body sees fit.
All right, just as long as it's clear in some part of the ordinance that is pertaining to this, and that's our starting point as far as our 30 days.
Correct. The 30 days, am I correct? Okay. The 30 days would start once proper notification is given.
That's as clear as mud.
So notice is day one.
Yes.
Then on day 10, they have to start. And by day 30 days after day one, which was notice, is the day that they have to. Unless y'all give them additional time.
Give them a different work plan.
Correct. That would be within the resolution. So the resolution that's brought before council, let's say that they come in and they said, I would like 90 days, and they give a reasonable reason for that. Council could put within the resolution, modify the resolution that we present to say must be completed within 90 days from proper notification.
So like last month, we did not give that person you have to have that completed by a certain time.
We didn't have this awarded or on record or.
Okay.
Okay, roll call, please.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Bobby.
Item number 1, discussion of possible action on adoption of resolution 2024-02, a resolution finding the property located at 215 Hart Avenue, Block 5, lots 10 through 13 of Paradise Canyon Subdivision, Second Supplement, Ruidoso, New Mexico, a public nuisance. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Council. Robert Simpson, Ruidoso Code Enforcement. Today, we're bringing forth a resolution, and just right off the bat, for clarification, in case you're looking through the paperwork and you're seeing two different addresses. 251 Pearl is the address for this property that the tax assessor holds. That's what's actually on the tax assessor information. It's incorrect information, as our addresser has actually given the proper address as 215 Hart. They are the one and the same. That's why we give the legal description. 215 Hart, this property is an abandoned property. It's been brought to our attention. We sent multiple letters to the property owners. The most recent one was 10/31 of 23 was a certified letter that was returned to us. So we are unable to contact the owner via the information that's provided with the tax assessor's office. We've had building officials and fire department personnel respond out there, and I'm sorry for the amount of photos that are probably in your file there, but there was a lot of photographs that were taken by the building official and a lot of photographs that were taken by the fire department personnel that went out to do their inspections. They did an excellent job with their inspections, and you can read through those reports. I'll just give you the briefest summary. Ultimately, the structure itself is unsecured, which is a main issue for me. Unsecured residents that are open, those are things that can be hazardous for teenagers to homeless to animals getting inside of those structures and then causing that hazard, whether that be someone starting a fire in it or otherwise getting injured inside of a property that's unsecured. Beyond the structure just being unsecured, to the best of my knowledge, and correct me, I don't know if Dick Cook's on here, but correct me if I'm wrong, Dick. Oh, he's behind me? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that this property has never been forestry certified. What that means is they have never been compliant in the history of our forestry standards that we've adopted through the Village of Ruidoso.
Yes, Lindy's done all the work that we required, except that she got a contractor now that got snowed out, so.
So hold on, not Paradise Canyon, this is the one on Pearl, up on Hart Avenue, back behind.
Well, I thought there was no owner.
So you're talking about Paradise Canyon, correct? Okay, so we're
Oh,
talking two different
two
properties.
different things.
So to the best of my knowledge, when we talked with Kathy, this property has never had a forestry certification at all. They don't have any record of it ever being in compliance with forestry standards. It's overgrown, there's pine needles on the roof, pine needles on the deck causing some issues as far as rot. And so with the property being overgrown with forestry standards, it being unsecured, and just being a vacant, abandoned structure, I do consider this a hazard, and we would like to get that corrected. I'll stand for questions.
When was the last time that there was utilities active at this house?
I don't have that information offhand, but I will tell you that when they were doing their inspections, there's a picture in there of the 2020 census. That's more than likely the last time anyone was in that structure, and I'm not sure who that was actually in the structure, but it's there on the table.
On the table.
So that was the last time anyone had been in the structure to the best of our knowledge. As far as utilities, I don't remember if it's in the report, if they're even hooked up. There was some issues, and I don't believe that there's utilities at the residence at all. I know that the taxes have been paid. But beyond that, we have no information on how to contact a representative for the property.
Make a motion?
Yep, make a motion, please.
I'll make a motion that we adopt Resolution 2024-02, a resolution finding the property located at 215 Hart Avenue, Block 5, Lots 10 through 13 of the Paradise Canyon Subdivision, Second Supplement, Ruidoso, New Mexico, a public nuisance.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Hooker,
Aye.
Counselor Jackson,
Aye.
Counselor Salas,
Aye.
Counselor Letterman.
Aye.
Counselor Eby.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right. We got discussion and possible action on Ruidoso Police Department policies for accreditation and approval, canon of police ethics, goals, objectives, risk analysis, standard operating procedures, procedure committee, use of force training, vehicle pursuits supervisor and Cooper standards. Sir Chief, and welcome Deputy Chief.
Mr. Mayor, Council, before you, you have some policies that we have submitted. There's 5 of them. Each one of them is part of the accreditation process. Some of them we had to create. We're going through our standards right now, and some of the standards that we have, we can't comply with until we get these policies up. On the vehicle pursuits, you have 2 different, the actual vehicle pursuits, and then you have the vehicle pursuits supervisor. That is for the responsibilities that the supervisors on shift would have, and then the administration would have during a vehicle pursuit. If you have any questions on anything that you've read, we're open for that.
I have a recommendation of a change.
Yes, sir.
On the SOP committee policy on 1A3, consultation with the city attorney or another legal, I would just suggest changing city to village.
Okay.
But other than that, it's all pretty much drawn out.
We can do that.
And I really like the ethics policy. Very good.
Thank you.
When in the, I just had a question, and just so I can be more understanding. On the standard and procedures, when it talks about designated officers, how's an officer designated when it talks about, where was it? Under less lethal force instructors, and it talks about designated officers shall receive refresher training and evaluation. Is it just ever so many years, there's certain officers that come up, or is it?
No, what it would be is if we did send somebody to an instructor school, that would be, they would already have to have the basic use of force, firearms instructor, so there's several different things they would have. However, if we have somebody that is hired on, that say they're on probation from another department that we hired them on, they're not off probation yet, we could designate them to instruct those particular portions. So that's why we left that in there.
Okay, gotcha. Anybody else? Okay.
I make a motion to approve. Recommendation to approve Ruidoso Police Department policies and accreditation and approval, canon on police ethics, goals and objectives, risk analysis, standard operating procedure committee, use of force training, vehicle pursuits, supervisor and Cooper standards.
Second.
Final discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Hooker,
Aye.
Counselor Jackson,
Aye.
Counselor Salas,
Aye.
Counselor Letterman.
Aye.
Counselor Eby.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Now we have Mr. Dick Cookie, our forester. Discussion and possible action on agreement between the Village of Ruidoso and Southwest Contracting and Associates Association, DBA Wilson Thinning, utilizing state price agreement. Lost my price agreement 30 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cinco, no, is that Cinco? And 22-00023 for Moon Mountain Fuel Break Project in the amount of $155,925.23. Hello, Dick. And this is on the Ridge?
Yes, sir. Mayor, Council, this is a project that has been identified since 2019 when I did the fuels management on Moon Mountain, and it's progressed. The alignment on your map there looks a little crooked, but what it is, it's actually the fire line for the McBride Fire, where the McBride Fire went up there and they stopped it on that old road. And the wind event that came through prior to the fire blew down a lot of trees up there. And so with the debris from the control of the fire, or the improvement of the fire line, plus the blowdown, plus the natural vegetation that's coming up, that area was just a mess. And so after the McBride Fire, a contingency from the State Lands Office came down, and we went up and took a look at that. And that meeting led to the memorandum of agreement that the mayor signed in November of 2022.
Is it 2022?
Yeah.
Wow.
This isn't a quick process.
Yeah.
But anyway, I outlined the process where it was supposed to make it easier for us to do projects on Moon Mountain. And so what happened was that after that contingency, we did the memorandum of agreement, and then I got the state forester for the state land office to come down, and we actually designed this project. And so because of the recreation on Moon Mountain and a number of other reasons, and the state contract also had a provision in it where you could include roads in timber type projects. And so we took the opportunity and made a proposal to use the road alignment and the fire break to create a fuel break up there, at the same time improve the road enough where we could get emergency vehicles and those kind of things. You could always get up there, but you had to be driving a tank. And so this proposal we put together along with the state land office, they took it back and approved it, the project, and then we went out and found a contractor, got a bid on the contract, and that's where we are now. The contractor, what you see before you for the $155,000 is the contract to create this fuel break and improve that road. It's about 1.1 miles of road up there along that ridge on Moon Mountain. And so basically that's what we're here to ask you to do, is approve the project. And what happens is you approve the project, we send the approved project to the state land office, who writes us a purchase order for the amount that it took to do the project. So they're providing the money for this project. And in addition to this contract price, we're going to get $7,500 for administration that'll come back to the village. So once this is approved, the contract, we already have the contractor, we already have his signature on the contract. If you approve this, the mayor will sign the contract, where then we'll have the purchase order for obligation. We'll do the project, submit the invoices that we collected to the state land office. They will reimburse us for the amount of money. And so essentially, they're paying for the project.
Mayor Crawford, members of the council, I contacted the state land office, and along with the purchase order, I asked for a letter of award to make sure we have everything in place for our finance department in order to do a budget adjustment to include this project amount.
Okay, and is it the new trails that are being built? I know Mayor Pro Tem had a question about that. I have not even looked at a trail design up there. Have you? Has anybody?
I haven't.
I haven't either. So is this going to interfere with any of that?
It shouldn't. The road was existing there, and the blowdowns and things, that's natural vegetation. We'd probably have cleared that anyway. So I'm saying no, there'd be little if no impact from that.
When you say road improvement, what does that look like? Because I know it gets pretty wicked up
Minimal
there.
road improvement, which is just going to be improved. Have you been up there?
Oh, yeah.
You get up there and the first part of it is really rough. And so what they're going to do is use a jackhammer or whatever to kind of smooth out those places. And there's not going to be any major road alignment or any of those kind of things. It's just going to be improvement enough to prevent erosion and be able to get a vehicle up there for emergency rescue or whatever.
Okay. 'Cause it does have some big ruts last time I was up there, which has been over a year or so before we started really doing a whole lot up there, maybe even longer than that, so.
Oh, it was bad. When I first got here, Dick took me up there and got to show me that road, so It's my baptism by fire, so to speak.
It's just another weekend for the hookers, ain't it?
I used to go up there all the time,
Yeah.
all the time.
But Mayor, to your question on the trails, we'll work to see if we can get an alignment in front of you all, but it will not affect any of the trail systems that are up there at the moment, so.
Okay, because those are completed.
So they had initially run out of money, and they finished what they had. Now that the new grant agreement was signed, they'll finish up what they can due to weather and wait till the spring to finalize the rest.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Dick? Any more? Motion, please.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve agreement between the Village of Ruidoso and Southwest Contracting and Associates doing business as Wilson Thinning, utilizing state price agreement 30-5-22-23 for Moon Mountain Fuel Break Project in the amount of $155,925.23.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
Aye.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Next, we have Eric Queller. Yes, for some reason, I thought you spelled your name with a C. It's always been a Q?
All his life.
I thought it was a C too.
Man, I maybe need to be held under observation or something. Good Lord. Discussion and possible action on adoption of Resolution 2024-03, a resolution of the Village of Ruidoso adopting the Lincoln County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan for 2023. Maybe that's why I can't find you in the employee addressing.
I like to stay off the record.
Yeah, you do,
So
no
I like
kidding.
to have confusion of my name, so no one knows. Too many people have my cell phone number, so just that to avoid that confusion. But with that, we're going to get this PowerPoint going. I also want to mention that we also have Wendy Blackwell. She has been working with us through the mitigation process to the hazard mitigation plan. And so she developed this PowerPoint as well as helped us with the planning process. And she is also on the line, so if I can't answer any questions or if Chief can't answer any questions, she probably can answer a lot of questions. She worked with DHSCM and was the State Hazard Mitigation Coordinator for many years. So with that,
That's it. We have it.
Yeah, we've got the-
We've got it.
Stars.
Well, we're waiting to see if we can get that up. This update is just a 5-year update. Mitigation plans are revised and updated on a 5-year cycle. And that's what this is.
I mean, there's not much, we participate in this every time.
Yes, sir.
I do have to mention that during the process of the hazard mitigation plan, I've been in emergency management for since I was 17 years old and working with numerous agencies in Texas, my first time being in New Mexico with emergency management. But the public input meeting that we had, I think in June or July, that was the largest public outshowing of people to come give their public inputs on a hazard mitigation plan. I've never seen that before. And so I'm very thrilled that this community is engaged with local government as well as emergency management to give their recommendations, input to make us a disaster resilient community. So as we go forward, just like Chief said, the plan is updated every 5 years, and it is specifically for mitigation. So what is mitigation? If we want to get to the next slide. We're still going. All right. Mitigation, when it comes to emergency management, there's 4 phases of emergency management. You have preparedness, you have response, you have recovery, and you have mitigation. And so mitigation happens before a disaster as well as after a disaster when we learn at what happened, what didn't happen, and why we need to fix it. So recovery for the next disaster can happen more efficiently and fluidly. So Mitigations lessen the impact of natural disasters, and so reducing injury and property damage. And so some of these pictures right here are pictures of mitigation projects, acquiring land in a flood zone, making a park so floodwaters have excess water to go to instead of flooding out residential neighborhoods, thinning over in the forest department. So if we do have a wildfire, at least it doesn't have those fuels to keep going. And hardening infrastructure like the house, instead of just wood paneling, go ahead and use adobe, stuff like that to make it more resilient towards just natural disasters. One of my favorite mitigation projects is on Grindstone Canyon, and during the McBride fire, burned a lot of the landscape there. And so when the monsoon season comes, you have a bunch of washout, a bunch of water that comes and impacts that area. Well, we've made these little debris catchers. I'm not familiar with the actual term. There's probably a term out there. There's a term for everything. But it helps catch debris and holds it there. We clean it out instead of it going down the river, impacting or clogging culverts. And so that's mitigation at work, and it does work. It helps us. We see it every day. So the timeline for the planning process, we have governing presentations that happened in March and April. I wasn't here at this time. Chief was the head planner at that moment. Stakeholders engaged throughout. So specifically, the title is Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan. So we opted to go ahead and include the whole county. So we partnered with the county on this, and it's different jurisdictions within the county. We are just a sub-part of the plan. That's why you have 600 and something pages in your document where it's like, why is Carrizozo listed in here? Why is Hondo listed in here? Well, it's multi-jurisdictional. And so we just headed up the grant to get this plan put together. So we had the community meeting in June. I knew it was either June or July. And we had a lot of engagement through that process. We also opened up a question and feedback time through surveys with the agency, with Carrie, our PIO. A lot of good comments that came out of that as well. Governing body adopts in January, so that's what we're hoping to do today, is adopt the resolution. And then the next process is we apply for FEMA approval and funding. And so ideally, the hazard mitigation plan is a funding check mark. We have to have this plan to get more FEMA money. And in terms of FEMA money, again, it's mitigation. It is what they call the 404 mitigation projects. And so those are what happened before a disaster rather than after a disaster with like public assistance and all of that. And so this is a check mark to apply for FEMA funding. Hey, do you have a hazard mitigation plan? Do you know your local hazards? Yes, we do. We have a plan. All right, great. Here you go. Let's start looking at FEMA grant money. And so again, we have the hazard index for each community. Village of Ruidoso, we are a multi-hazard community, which means we have more hazards that affect us than a lot of other communities in the United States. The only thing that we don't have is hurricanes. So with that.
Not yet.
Not yet. We could be a coastal community soon. I don't know. Who knows what's happening. But we do have wildfires, we do have floods, thunderstorms, winter storms, high winds, droughts, and of course we have our 2 dams, so we could have a dam failure. And so what do we do with that mitigation funding? Well, on the next slide, which we can jump, I'm ahead of myself. So with that, again, the plan, I kind of already talked about it. It was prioritized with those risks in mind. And so those risks then applied to our hazard indexes. And then those equivalent to your action items, which now we'll get into it. So these are our action items. We are not obligated to do any of them, but we are recommending that we do proceed with these. And so these are action items that we've talked about before. And I know that there is some action items that we've already made progress on. And so one of those is, I believe on the next slide, we have adding generators to community center, the convention center, village hall, and the radio towers. We've already applied for a grant for that. And so we are making progress on the backside of these action items. And so, I don't know, Chief, did you want to talk about any of the action items that we've been looking at for the last couple of months?
I know that some of the thinning projects that have been going on, some of the controlled burns that you see going on, especially with the U.S. Forest Service, are part of the mitigation that we've had in some of our action plans. So I know that those are some of the big issues that help mitigate wildfires coming into the village. So that's a big part of the process is those projects that the U.S. Forest Service is doing as a stakeholder in this mitigation plan.
Thanks, Chief. And we have a lot of stakeholders. We have a lot of land that borders different jurisdictions. On the south part of town, we have the Mescalero Apache, and then we have Lincoln County, we have the Rio Doso Downs, and we're incorporated into a national forest. When we go out towards the airport, that's all Bureau of Land Management land. So we do have a lot of stakeholders that we engage in this conversation of mitigation. And so it's not just us talking, it's also getting their input of how can we make our community more resilient when it comes to disaster? Because as we always like to say, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when it will happen. And how do we recover to a new normal? And so with that, what are the next steps? And so the resolution is going to each community that is a part of the multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan, and hopefully will get adopted by each of the individual jurisdictions. And so when that happens, we go ahead and submit the approval letter to FEMA. They'll do final formatting edits, you know, the grammar, all of the other stuff. It is pretty good. I know that Wendy Blackwell is a particular on her grammar, and so we're not worried about that. But getting posted on the village website so that people can view that, participate, continue that discussion of mitigation, because it just doesn't belong with me or Chief or y'all. It is responsible for the people to make our community, again, more resilient. I keep pushing that word because it is a whole process. It's a team effort. So communities are eligible to apply for funds. That's that mitigation funding that continues on for the generators, for the burns, for the prescribed burns. For all of that stuff, we are now more eligible to get those funds. And then go ahead and just give out notice to the community saying, hey, this is where you can access the hazard mitigation plan on our website. And again, if you have any comments, concerns, show those to the emergency management or the fire department office or just your local governing officials, and we'll point that in the right direction to get those answered. So with that, we just want to thank the planning team. Before I got here, a lot of this was spearheaded by Chief and the rest of the emergency management working group. I know JP Kenmore with the county, he's now retired. Brian Sampson is now the new emergency manager for the county. And then just going down the list for everyone. But I also want to give a very special shout out to Wendy Blackwell. She's been very helpful in answering all of our mitigation questions. And FEMA did say that it was probably one of the most well put together plans that has come through FEMA Region 6 office. So with that, if you have any questions for me or Chief, we'll be happy to answer them.
I'll make a motion.
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve the adoption resolution 2024-03, a resolution of the Village of Rio Doso adopting the Lincoln County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan 2023.
Second. Final discussion?
I have a question.
Well, I just got a question on the one where you stated that one of the high priorities was to move power lines underground. And, you know, with the McBride fire starting, with the power line, that this definitely is a concern. So how does that get implemented? Because you listed power companies as partners in that. It's a bottom line. Where's the manpower and who's going to pay for? How does something like that get done?
So just to reiterate, none of these priorities are self-binding. We don't have to do them, but they are further to recommend to us that we should do them within the next 5 years. And so working with PNM, working with our energy partners, identifying those and saying, hey, if you're going to put up a new subdivision, maybe let's start looking at burying the power lines to be proactive instead of reactive.
Okay.
But in terms of actually just holding us to the fire, to lack of a better term, we're not obligated to do that.
Oh, so you're talking basically, new,
Underground service.
new subdivisions, new.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, Counselor Eby, and Mr. Mayor, that is correct. New subdivisions, or if they come in to replace lines, we may suggest that, this section that they're replacing, try to be put underground so it alleviates some of the issues that we've had in the
All right,
past.
you're not talking about existing.
Yes.
Thank you for your question.
Okay, anybody else? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Hooker.
Aye.
Counselor Jackson.
Aye.
Counselor Salas.
Aye.
Counselor Letterman.
Aye.
Counselor Eby.
All right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Is that Kevin Kennedy and Capitan, is that the same one that's doing Grindstone Stables? It's a different guy? I mean, that would just be silly because he lives here and. Okay, 5, discussion and possible action on amendment number 3 with Miller Engineers, Inc., DBA Souter Miller and Associates for preliminary design, final design, construction administration, construction observation, and closeout services for replacement of 2,226 additional linear feet of asbestos cement water line detailed in the original contract dated June 8th, 2021, in the amount of $90,440.42, including New Mexico GRT. Total contract cost with amendment, $615,903.11, including New Mexico GRT. Yes, sir, Adam.
Mayor, Council, this amendment is to replace the water line on Highway 70 in front of Pine Cliff. So what we're doing is just an amendment to the original contract with Sutter Miller to do the engineering on this piece.
Are you having is that one of those places where it's, that's what I
the
thought.
hotels and K-Bobs and
Yeah.
everybody there.
And Mayor Crawford, members of the council, so once this design is completed, then we will bring forth a change order to the existing contract that's working on the
J&H Services.
Pine Cliff project.
Okay.
How far, going south on 70,
So it'll be from K-Bobs
right?
to the Elevate Hotel. And then the Elevate Hotel's parking lot, we've already replaced that. Then from Glade Drive to the middle of Pine Cliff Village.
Okay.
Because the middle of Pine Cliff Village is where the last project for the interconnect, the Cherokee interconnect has started. So that water line has been replaced also, so it'll just tie in there.
Because a while back, I remember talking about an interconnect there for Cherokee to go to Camelot.
It's already there. It's there.
Oh, it's there, okay.
Yeah, the Cherokee interconnect feeds Grindstone or Alto water by the Cherokee well, and then it's pumped up to the tanks, and then Hellhole, and then up to Camelot tanks.
Camelot tank.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we ever do anything about that road on Hellhole? We fixed all that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I remember that. It's okay. Any other questions? This is GEO bond funding.
Right.
It's heck hole now. It's not Hellhole.
Heck-ho, it's just a heck of a hole.
I was afraid to ask you what that was.
Oh, it was tough. You couldn't hardly get up there, man. Yep. So, do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve amendment number 3 with Miller Engineers, Inc., doing business as Souter Miller and Associates for preliminary design, final design, construction administration, construction observation, and closeout services for replacement of 2,226 additional linear feet of asbestos cement water line detailed in the original contract dated June 8th, 2021, in the amount of $90,440.42, including NMGRT. Total contract cost with amendment will be $615,903.11, including New Mexico GRT.
Second?
Any final discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Item number 6. Discussion and possible action on a lease agreement with Pete's Equipment Repair, Inc. for 2024 Vector 2100I mounted on a 2025 Kenworth T8800 through Sourcewell contract RFP number 101221-VTR for a term of 5 years in the amount of $776,737.46. Is this bigger than the one we got, or the same size?
It is bigger. It
Bigger.
is not a whole lot bigger, but the chassis itself, it's a tandem axle. We have a single axle now, and the debris tank is a little bit bigger than what we have.
What's the timeline on this one? I didn't see that.
It's actually going to be a 2025 chassis. So if we get this in now, we'll be first on the list to get the 2025 chassis, and then it can be built. So we're hoping by the end of this next year.
So does that make 3 that you'd have, or this would just be the second
This will be
one?
the second one.
Second.
The other one we borrow from the Downs.
That's what it is.
Yeah, the one we have now is actually a 2008 model, and, you know, we're starting to spend a lot of money on it. So that one we own, this one will be a lease, so hopefully we can
Yeah,
rotate
that'll
it
be
out.
good.
We've been talking about it for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Well, this one, never mind. Go ahead. We need a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the lease agreement with Pete's Equipment Repair, Inc. for a 2024 Vector 2100i mounted on a 2025 Kenworth T880 through Sourcewell contract RFP number 101221-VTR for a term of 5 years in the amount of $776,737.46.
Second.
Okay, any final discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That's kind of like that Johnny Cash song almost, wasn't it? It's a 62, 63, 64. Automobile. Ashley Carbajal, please, and I don't know if Chris is coming up for this one. This is discussion, possible action on award of ITB number 2024-006B, flood damage repair at water plant number 1, base bid only, to R. Minix Construction, Inc., in the amount of $274,480.34, including New Mexico GRT.
Good afternoon, Mayor and councilors. This is just to repair the flood damage that happened in the 2021 flood at Water Treatment Plant 1. This will repair that gabion wall. Riverbend Engineering redesigned the structure, so it's going to kind of change how the gabion wall is going to be placed. It's also having different dispersion zones, so if a flood ever does come back through there, it'll help disperse the energy that goes through there, and will help with the bank stabilization as well.
And this is at the top of,
Correct.
yeah,
Upper
Upper
Canyon.
Canyon.
Upper Canyon,
Yeah.
right on the Mescalero
Right.
border.
I moved that,
Yeah, you go right ahead, and it has a little
Okay.
fish habitat type thing in there too.
Correct.
Go right ahead.
I move that we accept award of ITB 2024-006B flood damage repair at water plant number 1, base bid only to R. Minix Construction, Inc., in the amount of $274,480.34, including New Mexico GRT.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
Aye.
This on the contract. Number 8, discussion and possible action on contract of goods and services for flood damage repair at water plant number 1 with R. Minix Construction, Inc., awarded via invitation to bid, ITB, number 2024-006B, in the amount of $274,480.34, including New Mexico GRT, base bid only.
So this is just for the contract for the ITB on the previous agenda item.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Ashley?
I move that we accept contract for goods and services for flood damage repair and water plant number 1 with R. Minix Construction, Inc., awarded via invitation to bid ITB 2024-006B in the amount of $274,480.34, including New Mexico GRT, base bid only.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Okay, and thank you very much, ma'am.
Thanks, Ashley.
And we don't have any items for closed session, so I don't have any other items listed on the agenda. Is there any final comments for you beautiful people?
I was an alibi on the strategic planning. I'll be in Albuquerque the first day, so I'll zoom in on that.
Okay.
Just as long as that can get set up and then be back for the next one.
And Mayor, members of the council, also Judy will be requesting a special meeting, I believe, on Tuesday, last Tuesday of the month. That'd be what, the 30th? And that'll be for her quarterly financials. And we'll also be scheduling the internal finance committee also.
Okay. Anything else? Yeah. Sergeant, was this all that you was hoped and dreamed it would be? Yeah, see what, yeah.
You're lucky, it's early.
Yeah, because we're in a hurry and Coughlin's gone, so this meeting is adjourned.
All right. Good job, Mayor.
That's funny.
Safe travels.
So what, you're going from